And even though I have not yet found vibrational alignment with that desire, for I am still beating the drum of the contrast that gave birth to it, I am joyful in anticipation of the inevitable. Oh, that's interesting. You don't know it's inevitable. We see why you don't like that gap between the contrast helping you to give birth to a desire and the full manifestation of it. The only reason you could not be joyful during that interim while the universe is lining up circumstances and events to accommodate you is that you're not yet convinced that your having given birth to it means that it is yours. Easier for us because we know that for you. There are so many people who are asking for wellness in an attitude of sickness, so they are pleading for solution, and in their pleading, they are not a vibrational match to the wellness that they are asking for. But when life causes you to ask, you send a vibrational rocket forward, and this is the best part. This is the part we want you to remember, and it's the part that so many have forgotten. When life causes you to ask for something, the source energy part of you not only answers what you are asking for, not only gives you the solution to the problem or the answer to the question or the healing to the illness, the source energy part of you literally becomes the vibrational essence or equivalent of what you are asking for. We like that so much that we have written a book and given it the best title that was ever given to any book, because the answer to everything is in the title. And the book is called Ask and It Is Given. We had thought that a longer title would be really good for this book. And there's a lot of room on the front of a book. Most people think that when we say ask it is given, that they can stand in an attitude of angst or pain or frustration or worry in the absence of something that they really, really want. And that by crying out with an extra loud voice, that somehow their prayer or their cry will be answered. And we say, it already was answered. It already was answered. It was answered in the moment that you concluded it. In fact, it is so already answered that we want you to understand that as you move through your life experience all day, every day, you are sending rockets of amendments to that. So what's happening is a vibrational escrow. We like that term. A vibrational escrow is amassing that is literally the evolved, expanded you. This is how the expansion of all species takes place. Experience causes the conclusion of the new desire, and source becomes that new desire. And then your work, and it's the reason that we call this gathering the art of allowing, your work is to find a way to become a vibrational match to what your life has caused you to ask for. The easiest way for us to explain this to you, and some of you have heard this, and we know you are appreciating the power of this analogy. Imagine taking your canoe down to the river's edge and putting it into the water. You have your oars, paddles already inside. You put it into the water, and if you were like most humans, you deliberately and immediately turn your canoe upstream and begin paddling against the current. And we say to you, why not turn and go with the current? And our human friends tell us in a variety of different ways, oh, Abraham, that would be lazy. And then they go on to explain how they have been taught to paddle against the current, that you've developed strong muscles and better boats and more efficient oars and most of all, a determined will to make it happen, to get it done, to pay the price, to be worthy of. If you will turn and go with the flow, you will come into vibrational alignment with who you really are. And the reason that we know this so powerfully is because we know about this current. In other words, we know how the current of life is created. We know what makes the current flow as it does. We know that it was the projection of thought from non-physical that began this flow. We know that it is you here in this physical body exploring and having contrasting experiences which make you ask for more. In other words, that's what causes the current. And most of all, it is the powerful law of attraction that is responding to the dominant vibration of this time-space reality. You talk about law of attraction in terms of what you think about comes to you, and you are absolutely right about that. Because the law of attraction says that which is likened to itself is drawn. And so if you are standing in a place where you are beating the drum of not enough money, you cannot allow more money. It defies law. But the thing that so many are leaving out of this, and this is the thing that we so much want you to hear, that law of attraction is responding to the essence of that which you are, to the source of that which you are. So when you are out here banging around and you see you don't have enough money or enough wellness or enough lover or enough of something that you want, and you give birth to that rocket of desire, the source energy part of you becomes that vibrational equivalent of what you are asking for, and law of attraction begins to respond to that vibrational part of you. In other words, the God force, source energy part of you, law of attraction is responding to that. And you know what that does for you? That causes a river to begin to flow with a powerful stream that is undeniable. Oh, you can deny it for a while. You can hold yourself apart from it. It beats you up pretty good when you do. You could hold yourself in vibrational resistance to the well-being that is natural to you your entire lifetime. But in the moment you croak, we love that disrespectful word. Since there is no death, in the moment that you withdraw your attention from this time-space reality, you will reemerge immediately into the pure positive energy of that which is source. This gathering is about helping you to turn and go with the flow pre-croaking. We're wanting you to find a way to in fact, you don't even have to turn and go with the flow. Just drop the oars. Just drop the oars. The stream will turn you. This powerful stream of well-being that is the culmination of all that you have become, that law of attraction is responding to, that stream will call you. And when you listen to the call of source and you allow yourself to move in the direction of the call of source, now you come into alignment not only with who you are, which feels wonderful, but you come into a vibrational alignment with all of the things that you've been asking for. And a little bit of allowing goes a long way, because the law of attraction is a very, very powerful thing. The key to long-term happiness, the key to receiving everything that you're wanting, the key to being the fulfillment of that which you intended as you came forth, the key to being that leading edge being that you were born to be, the key to living life in the way that you said you would when you came forth, the key to keeping up to who you really are, the key to being the physical embodiment of the source energy who is within you, the key to that is a downstream thought. Not the best thought you've ever thought. Just the best feeling thought you can find from where you are. No matter where you are on the emotional scale, no matter where you are, as you put your boat into the river, as you reach for the best feeling thought you can find, that's got to help, yes? And if you keep doing that, before you know, you're really going with the flow. You are hearing the call of source. So what does the call of source sound like? Harps and angels, surely? What's the call of source sounds like? Well, it depends on where you are. If you are in love and appreciation, the call of source will feel like ripples up your spine. It will feel like goosebumps all over your body. It will feel like elation. It will feel like laughter. It will feel like joyous exaltation. It will feel orgasmic. But if you are over here in despair or in anger or revenge, the call of source might very well feel like a little less anger or like frustration. You have to listen for it from where you are. And most important, and here's what we've been leading up to with all of this rampaging, you have to utilize your own guidance system and take everybody else and their guidance system and everybody else and their set of rules and lists of things that you should and should not do out of the equation. You have this boat that you're upstream, downstream, mostly downstream, mostly downstream, mostly downstream. We know that because we've seen you croak. Mostly downstream, mostly downstream, mostly downstream, mostly downstream, mostly downstream. The stream is going downstream. The question is, are you going downstream willingly or are you going with a fight? That really is the question. Because your life will be good. You are worthy beings. You were born to live well. Life is supposed to be good for you. That's just the way that it is. Now, you can fuss and fight that if you want to, but that is the way that it is. And so, what do you want to talk about?
This is so exciting. Thank you very much. By the way, I got the biggest kick out of looking at the bus and thinking of Esther driving that in circles. It was very funny. I'm
loving her clown nose.
Yeah, right. I love what you're saying about past experience bringing us into now and what we're able to choose as far as manifesting for ourselves. I'm hung up on one thing and would like some help with that, which is a past something, which is polio and being paralyzed. And all of the information that I'm getting from, quote, the experts talk with me about the path that is what will be my future. And I know because of fear that I'm creating some resistance there. And I would like to be rid of that so that I can move on. I'm also having to teach my clients. They're asking me these questions. Can we change our cellular structure?
Well, yes. But there are a number of things that we want to give to you about this in order to give you a sort of basis of expectation that will serve you. If you could go to the physician every 5 or 10 minutes for the next month or so, they would find all kinds of things that you wouldn't normally find because your body is constantly cycling. You are like a veritable chemical factory producing the balances to imbalances and so forth. And so, as you realize that your bodies are constantly changing, then you realize that diagnoses can change too. Usually, people do not change their thought very far from the reality of what they are living, which means when they find themselves in the middle of an experience like a disease, a dreaded disease that they don't want to have, when they find themselves in the middle of it, most people give it their undivided attention. In fact, most people offer most of their vibration in response to what they are observing. So what happens is, as you observe something through the eyes of an expert who is using all of those special lenses to look into your body, and that information that they give you is counter to what you want, it is logical that you would feel fear or strong negative emotion because the thought that is being activated in response to what you're giving your attention to is contrary to what's over here in your vibrational escrow. Now, the thing that physicians, for the most part, are not factoring in. They are scientists. They are taught to examine what is, to use what has been as the basis of what they expect for the future. But the part of it that they are leaving out is that out of the contrast is born a desire that the larger part of you is embracing. And so, without meaning to, their well-meaning in their negative diagnosis, their well-meaning negative diagnosis is often the very thing that keeps you from being able to be a vibrational match to what you are wanting. And so, you have to accept that you have this action journey, which for now is the state of your body and even the diagnosis as they've given it. That's just what is. And you can't change what is this red hot minute. It's just what is. But you have enormous flexibility in the vibrational patterning that you offer. But the vibrational patterning can't change very much if you keep looking at what is. So very logical people, scientific people say, well, please do not ask her to be delusional. Please do not ask her to look at things the way they aren't and pretend that things are different than they are, for she should face some sort of fact or reality. And we say, we would never face reality unless the reality contained everything that we were wanting to continue to replicate into the future. Because whatever you're facing, whatever you're observing, whatever you're beating the drum of is what you're activating in your vibration. And if you're activating what you don't want, you're keeping yourself from what you do want. And that is the reason that there is huge variable in who gets sick and who doesn't, and how long they're sick, and whether they are able to have a very strong disease and then shake it. It's all about this vibrational variation.